These are the dark signs that God will show you when someone has bad intentions. I wish I would have known this earlier because it would have saved me a lot of time and energy with romantic relationships, friendships, business relationships. It might be romance. It might be a friendship, a business partnership. God is trying to give you signs that someone has bad intentions, that someone isn't who you're supposed to be with or be around. And God will give you these 5 signs to try to help you. So if you're seeing one of these, it's a warning sign. And God is trying to speak to you, and it's something that you should look into a little bit more. So if you're new here, if you're a returner, I just want to thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't yet, I have a free success hypnosis that I started using like 10 years ago to reprogram my subconscious mind. I just listen to it every night or in the morning to reprogram my mind, and it changed my life forever. You can check it out for free in the description and pin to the comments right there down below. And let's dive right into this video. Number 1, the first sign is constant drama. If the person that you're around is constant drama, it is a sign from God that this is not where you're supposed to be. This is not the right fit, right? There's always some ups and downs and hiccups and whatever in relationships, but there's a difference between constant drama. Here's the thing. A lot of people are unconsciously addicted to drama. It puts their nervous system in fight or flight. It makes them feel alive. It releases some serotonin. It releases some dopamine. They've been programmed by their upbringing, and 50% of parents get divorced. There's all types of domestic disputes, and as children, we inherit that all. And it's one thing in relationships to grow together, right? It could be a business relationship and you're learning how to work with someone, how to communicate, right? There's always hiccups. It could be romance. We're learning how to live with someone, how to truly, be our best version of ourselves with someone. And there's going to be hiccups. But constant drama that shows up time and time, it's always something. It doesn't matter. The blow up on this, there's this thing, it could be a little thing, it could be a big thing. Sometimes it is a big thing and they make it a really big thing. And sometimes it's a little thing and they make it a big thing. But it's constant drama. And the only way to free yourself from this is to just be honest with yourself. Like, is this constant drama, and am I sticking with it because on some level I like the drama, or I'm afraid to be alone? What's going on here? God is talking to you. Dark sign number 2 is narcissistic and only concerned with self. In the past, I've had business relationships like this where I've always worked on teams. I've played sports my whole life, but there was this one guy that I used to work with, and it was just only about him. Takes all the credit and distributes all the blame. And complaints and acknowledgments only go one way. There is an epidemic of narcissism in our society, right? We all have our egos, but the way that media has programmed us, and social media has programmed us, and Hollywood has programmed us, and advertising campaigns have programmed us, it's made us have a much higher percentage of people with like real, genuine, destructive, harmful narcissism. I can't say that you'll know when it crosses the line, because we all have it, right? Like, I have an ego, you have an ego, it shows up in relationships, it does. But there's a clinical level of it where it's in everything, it's all things, it's total narcissism, and at that point it becomes actual harm. The best way to find out if the person that you are with is really like on the clinical level of narcissism is how you feel afterwards. If you spend a lot of time or you communicate a lot with this person over 10 times, over 20 times, you've spent a good enough time to aggregate some data and some information, and you still find that you are always tired, that is probably a sign they are a soul-sucking energy, they are a soul-sucking narcissist. That is the number one sign I can tell you from dealing with narcissists in the past. If every time you leave, you are never energized, it's just like all the time, your energy is sapped afterwards, then God's probably telling you that they're a narcissist. Number 3 is white lies as a constant pathological level. I used to date this woman when I was in high school, and she was a pathological liar, not in like a crazy destructive way where like she'd steal $10,000 from you and then like tell you she didn't do it, but just literally about everything. You know, I introduced her to a new friend, and then she says that she met the person through somebody else, like little things like that. Like, I have this many dollars, but I'm going to tell everyone I have this many. Like, I put my right leg on in my pants first, but I'm going to tell everyone it's my left. Just making a joke here. My point is just literally everything you could possibly imagine telling a small white lie about. And a lot of times for no reason whatsoever. And we all know some people like that. It may be a business partner, it could be a colleague, it could be a coworker, it could be somebody you're in a relationship with. And they're so used to it that they tell it all the time. Really what they're doing is they're trying to preserve their own identity. It becomes a self-protective mechanism for the ego for some people to essentially like become a pathological liar. There's the really clinical level where you're like insane and you're like a menace to society, right? But there's also a lot of people that are borderline pathological liars that are just normal people we interact with every single day, and they lie about everything for no reason where they exaggerate about every single thing. So the basis of what they say is real, but then they exaggerate every single thing that happens. So everything gets more of an extreme. So they're basically white lying every single thing. If any of that is happening in your life regularly with somebody, it is probably a sign God is telling you, hey, here's a sign, step away, warning, beep, 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 hit the reverse, beep, 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 walk the other way, don't go as often, don't stay as long. And this is a chance to walk away before the energy sucking continues if they're telling white lies about everything. Number 4 is diving deeper into what we were talking about earlier, which is constant fatigue after you're around them or when you're around them, right? We talked about how you're always tired, you feel sapped, you feel drained. Well, getting to the core of why you continue to do it, even though you know you feel drained afterwards. And that usually comes to self-guilt. I should spend time with this person. I need to spend time with this person. It'd be mean if I don't. Or I'm not good enough to get something better, whether it's a relationship, right? So then we settle in a relationship, which blocks us from attracting a better one. In our romance, the most ideal boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, soulmate is waiting for us to finally stop lowering our standards and to let go of this relationship that isn't meant to be. And so there's guilt, like guilt of what if I leave this person and I don't get anything better? What if I'm not good enough? When we're controlled by guilt, what happens is that we do not live from our highest and best good. And we trap ourselves into relationships that stunt our growth and stunt our progress. I call them recyclable relationships. It's when there's constant drama, as sign number 1 that we talked about. God showing us that this is not ideal. This is a bad intentions relationship, either consciously or subconsciously, because there's constant drama. Number 2 is narcissists. They are a narcissist. Everything is always about them, no matter what. It can't not be about them. It is always about them. Number 3 is white lies constantly or exaggerating everything constantly. Number 4 is constant fatigue after you are around them, which really is getting to the core of the guilt or the shoulds about why I need to invest my time and energy into this thing that is not working. And number 5 is they never apologize ever for anything. You always have to do it. It may be in business, romance, love. You cannot have a relationship where one person is so attached to their own ego that they cannot apologize. I had an old business relationship where the person had all these other patterns. They created constant drama. They were narcissistic. They were negative. They're always telling white lies about everything, and it was exhausting. And they also would never apologize, even when I would call them out, like in a phrase, hey, what about this? You know, you said this, but I thought you said that. No, I'm right. And they would never apologize. And when that happens in romance, when that happens with someone that you live with, that you spend pretty much 365 days out of the year with. When this happens in business and you spend 3, 4, 5 days a week working with someone, business partner, coworker, employee, it's probably a sign that this is only going to accumulate more of a negative energy vortex. So that's 5 dark signs from God that someone has bad intentions, that someone is a negative energy, that God is giving you these obvious, but sometimes we don't notice them, dark signs to maybe stay away from somebody or to leave something that's going on. Constant drama, narcissism, white lies, constant fatigue, run by guilt, and they never apologize.